Golf Pick'em Expert Picks, brought to you by FootJoy.
The PGA Championship is 2 weeks away, but before that, a loaded field is set to tee off this week on another major championship venue. We're talking about Quail Hollow and the Wells Fargo Championship. A lot of big names in the field, and as always, we're going to dive into things for the Golf Pick'em game in the NBC Sports Predictor app. 10 head-to-head matchups. Pick a tournament winner. Pick a winning score. You could win $1,000 in guaranteed prizes every week. $50,000 jackpot up for grabs this week for a perfect score. We're going to dive right into it, starting with a marquee matchup with the two players who are highest in the world ranking in this week's field. That's Justin Thomas and Jon Rahm. Jon Rahm finished T7 alongside Ryan Palmer at the Zurich Classic a couple weeks ago, and he has a good record here. He's finished fourth in his lone Wells Fargo appearance. But remember, that was in 2017. That was at Eagle Point. The course was hosting this event because Quail Hollow was hosting a major a few months later, a major that will be won by, you guessed it, Justin Thomas. 4 years ago, he did lift the Wanamaker at this course, and he's coming off a really jarring performance at the Valspar, where he was the best ball striker in the field and almost dead last in putting. I am much more enthusiastic about JT's ball striking numbers than I am concerned with his putting woes last week at Innisbrook. I'm bullish on him this week, and overall, I'm taking Justin Thomas over Jon Rahm. Rory McIlroy and Webb Simpson both have a claim potentially to Mr. Quail Hollow. Remember, Rory, it was 11 years ago that he won his first PGA Tour event at this course, and then he followed it up 5 years later in 2015 with a course record 61 en route to a defining victory. So he's won here twice, but again, where's the form with Rory? Down to 15th in the world rankings, has missed a cut in each of his last two stroke play starts. Webb Simpson, he's a Charlotte guy. He's sleeping in his own bed. He's got the de facto home course advantage this week at a course where he is actually a member, and he's playing pretty well. T12 at the Masters, T9 at the RBC Heritage. It's hard to imagine a situation where I'm going to fade Rory McIlroy at Quail Hollow, but I think that speaks to the state of his game. Webb is by far the more consistent option in this matchup. If you want to be risky, you can take Rory. I'm going to play it safe. Give me Webb Simpson in Charlotte. Two Americans squaring off here, both of whom have already won this year on the PGA Tour. We're talking about Bryson DeChambeau and Patrick Reed, and both men have had some success at Quail Hollow. Bryson finished fourth at this event back in 2018. Patrick Reed was T2 in 2017, not at the Wells Fargo, but at the PGA Championship when it was held at this course. And he actually has a really consistent record at this event. 6 of his 7 appearances in the Wells Fargo, he's finished T32 or better. And that's also if you include that PGA Championship finish. I know he missed the cut last week at the Valspar. That was a surprising result on a course where he had played well in the past, but he only missed the cut by a shot. I still think his game is in pretty good shape. Bryson could have some question marks making his first start since the Masters. I think Patrick Reed is the more reliable option, and I think he is the best option to go with in this matchup. Two former champions heading in the wrong direction, hoping that a return to Quail Hollow will turn around their form. We're talking about Ricky Fowler and Jason Day. It's amazing to see Ricky Fowler outside the top 100 in the world, more than a year removed from his most recent top 10 finish. Jason Day, it's not a lot better. He's almost outside the top 60 in the world. Both men could be looking at a trip to U.S. Open sectional qualifying in a few weeks if they're not careful. Ricky got his first tour victory here back in 2012. Jason Day won in 2018. But given that there's not a lot of recent form to go off of, I think the most consistent option is Jason Day, who has finished T24 or better in each of his 4 appearances in this event. You throw in the 2017 PGA where he played well. I think that he is the guy, even though he doesn't have a ton going in his direction right now. There are a lot of question marks about Ricky Fowler. There are fewer questions about Jason Day. I think the Aussie gets the better of Ricky Fowler in this matchup. All right, those are my thoughts on the marquee head-to-head matchups. But remember, in Golf Pick'em, you have to pick all the matchups, and you need a tournament winner. So this week, I'm going a little bit outside the box. Not too far, though. He's around 30-1. I'm talking about Joaquin Niemann. This is a course where we're going to have a President's Cup next year. Why not throw in some international flair? Niemann is flying a little under the radar, but last week he had a top 10 at the Valspar, even though he faltered on Sunday. But he has now made 17 cuts in a row. That goes all the way back to August. It includes a pair of runner-up finishes in Hawaii back in January. I think he is wildly underrated right now and could be poised to get back into the winner's circle. He's such a solid ball striker. He plays well on some tough courses that have potentially hosted majors in the past. I think that he's a guy to watch this week at Quail Hollow. So those are my thoughts. Remember, log on to the NBC Sports Predictor app, go into Golf Pick'em, make your selections for the 10 head-to-head matchups, pick a winner, pick a winning score. You could win $1,000 in guaranteed prizes, 50 grand jackpot up for grabs for a perfect score. We'll see you next week.